No, not yet.
I want to hold it.
No. We gotta keep it in a safe place. Now, this one is
It's
called
really salty.
'Twas the Night Before Christmas. However, it's also called The Night Before Christmas, and it's also called A Visit from St. Nicholas. But the actual true name of the poem, and it is a poem, not a book. The true name of this poem by Clement Moore is An Account of a Visit from St. Nicholas. And the way the story goes, he was a minister and his daughter was very sick. In fact, she was actually dying. She was so sick, and she didn't move much, she didn't open her eyes. And her favorite time was Christmas, and here it was Christmas Eve, and this poor little girl was sick in bed, and she couldn't answer him or anything. So he sat and wrote about her favorite story, about her favorite time, and he read it to her. Not yet, but you can watch, because you're only part of this. Don't spoil it. I'm going to get an Academy Award, you know. So anyway, he read it the first time to her, and she seemed to move a little bit. And he read it a second time, and she started perking up. And he read it again and again, and pretty soon she was sitting up in bed, and she wanted something to eat. And by Christmas morning, she was feeling much better. That's the story of this book. Now, I got to pull it a little bit. Okay? Now, no, you can't turn it. It spoils the magic. Got to be careful because it's old. This book is as old as Auntie Becky, I think. Ready? 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Did you ever see a mouse on Christmas Eve? No. Did you ever see a mouse on Christmas Eve? No. Mice don't stir. Now dogs and cats stir. They do. Santa Claus comes down the chimney, or comes in the door, and the dog sniff his boots. Probably because of reindeer poop. But anyway, the dog sniff his boots. And the kittens and cats, like Addie and Delilah, they rub up against his leg because of the fur. But mice don't stir. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. Now he's called St. Nicholas, St. Nick. He's called Santa. He's called Santa Claus. He's called Père Noel. He's called Father Christmas. He's called Kris Kringle. He's got so many different names in every different country. But we call him either Father Christmas for your Uncle Damien and your daddy, or we call him, what do we call him? Santa. The children were nestled, all snug in their beds. Are you going to nestle snug in your beds tonight?
No.
You better. While visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Are you going to have sugar plums dancing in your head?
No.
Yes, you are. Now, the sugar plums is an old word. They don't use it anymore, but this was written in the 1800s. And sugar plums are all the nice dreams you're going to have. You're going to dream about the toys that you want. You're going to dream about cakes and candy and the donuts that they get from Dunkin' Donuts for you. But that's what sugar plums are. All the nice little things that you dream about as you sleep. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. Now if you look at this, you see the kerchief on her head? And do you see the cap on his head? When this was written, people heated their homes with fireplaces. So they were snug under the blankets, but their heads were cold. And they had to keep their heads warm, so that's what they wore on their heads. That's true. Yep. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and fell on my ass. I mean, threw up the sash. I got excited there.
What did Poppy do?
Nothing.
I got mixed up. I get confused now and
Did you
then.
just say nothing?
The moon on the breast of a new fallen and snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. Now I'm going to tell you, we are coming, I think, toward a full moon. Now, if it snows, and it's not cloudy, and you go outside when there's a full moon, because it was kind of bright last night, it will seem like it's almost like morning, because it'll be so bright outside, it's the most beautiful thing to see. Everybody's got to remember that. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be
Saint Nick. Oh,
me.
Well, you just
Damn it,
ruined
Saint
it,
Nick.
Jen.
Okay,
I was saying it.
no, it's not a miniature sleigh, it's a big sleigh. And it's not tiny reindeer, but if you were to see it way up in the sky, it would look tiny. Look up in the sky. See how tiny it would be? Yeah.
Papa, who colored it?
You did.
Oh, that was done a long, long time ago, and I
It
don't
was Auntie
know.
Becky.
Might have been Auntie Becky or Auntie Heidi.
Shut up, your mom wants you.
Somebody colored. Not only that, they did blue
What's that
antlers.
coming out of your face?
They did blue antlers and Jerry. They did blue antlers and blue eyes. Now everybody knows reindeer don't have blue antlers and blue eyes.
And blue
But I will
ears
tell
and
you.
bells and the blue foot.
You see this? One of these is wrong.
Bells.
Which one of these is wrong? Which one?
I know, like one of them is supposed to be brown and not a blue.
That's right, Vixen. Vixen's a girl. Vixen is always in the front. He uses her for directions.
That's the girl.
She's the best at directions. That's what I've heard. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted, and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. Donner's original name, Donder. Blitzen's original name,
Blixum, you gave me a
Blixum.
lecture about this for
That's
like 20
right.
minutes in the car one day.
and that's true. Hey, not everybody knows this story. To- Excuse me, you're
What are
spoiling
you
my.
trying to do?
Excuse me, you're spoiling my Emmy award. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves, Shaylin, before the wild hurricane fly. When they meet an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop, the coursers they flew. With a sleigh full of toys and
Saint Nicholas too.
Again!
No, I was saying it.
St. Nicholas too. What's wrong with you guys? And then on the twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
Don't touch me.
Now I gotta tell you a story.
What?
First of all, they could be on our roof right now. You might hear some prancing and pawing. But Prancer prances big like this. Most of them go like this because reindeer like to move their feet slowly.
You're popular.
And Dancer because they like to move because if there's snow on the roof, they move their feet. But Prancer prances, jumps, and Dancer he does it kind of fancy like. He's good. That's what I've heard. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur. Shaylin, you're spoiling this. From his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot.
Jake, shut up.
A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. See twinkling eyes? Twinkle your eyes.
Those are blinking.
Twinkle. His dimples, how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. Now, what makes Santa Claus's beard white?
Snow.
Good boy. What makes it grow long?
His oldness.
The cold. That's why he sleeps with his beard outside the blankets because the cold makes his beard grow longer. That's true. That was in the movie A Miracle on 34th Street. This is an official corncob pipe, probably made by an elf one time. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. Now, you gotta imagine. Can you do imagining? Make believe. Okay, the smoke goes up, goes around like this. Okay? He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed. Now watch out, because sometimes I want to stop. Ho, ho, ho! Like a bowl full of jelly. It's still going. Oh, I love this book. He was chubby and plump. All right, jolly old elf. Oh, I got to put the pipe away. And I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye. Wink the eye. Wink the eye. Wink the
That
eye.
was twinkling.
No, winking. I'm doing winking. Winking. Winking.
Lincoln's right here.
And a twist of his head. Now, watch out.
I'm so
Look, didn't do it right. That's better.
Close enough.
You see, it's got to go from left to right. You'll learn that someday. Give me this. You're spoiling my winning of this award. Soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. Now, I always thought Santa Claus came down the chimney by himself, but it says here he turned with a jerk. So he had a jerk with him. How's that for you? How's that work? I don't get it. I thought he worked alone, but apparently not.
Actually, alone.
He's got a jerk. Well, it says he's turned with a jerk. He's got a jerk with him. Ready? And laying his finger, everybody put their finger on the side of the nose. Jake, not in the nose. Left finger, first finger on the side of the left side of the nose. Finger on the side of the nose. Finger on the side of the nose. The other left cheek. Shayla, finger on the nose. Come on. And giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. Oh,
Ella, did that go up?
my God, Ella, I thought you were going to be on the light. He sprang to his sleigh. To his team gave a whistle. Can you whistle?
She can.
Jake,
You whistle? No, someday you will.
No.
And away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Uncle Damien and I were talking about this. That's in the old days they probably said Happy Christmas, and now what do they say? They don't say Happy Christmas. They say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
And that's it.
Oh,